Their names are ghosts in the ledgers of history. They are the Black Apothecaries of the 1900s. James Still of New Jersey, known as the Black Doctor of the Pines. Emma Dupree of North Carolina, a woman whose hands knew the secrets of every root and leaf. In many Black American families, healing didn't come from a pharmacy. It came from our grandparents, who knew the power of roots, herbs, and ancestral knowledge. As a child, my grandmother didn't just raise us, she healed us with roots, herbs, and ancestral wisdom. Their stories were not written down in the grand medical journals of their time. They were whispered from porch to porch. They were passed down from mother to daughter. They were the lifeline for communities that the formal world of medicine chose to forget. To find them is to find a hidden chapter of American survival and ingenuity, a story that matters deeply today as we reconsider what it means to provide care for all. We must pull their stories from the shadows. They were entrepreneurs, they were scientists, they were healers in a time of profound neglect. They built businesses from the ground up using knowledge that stretched back generations across oceans. These weren't just shops that sold remedies, they were sanctuaries. They were places where a person could be seen as whole, a person could find a listening ear and a gentle hand. In a world that sought to break them, the Black Apothecary was a force for mending, for holding a community together, one tincture and one salve at a time. The history of American medicine is incomplete without them. The air inside their shops must have smelled of dried herbs and simmering syrups, camphor, sassafras, pine. It was the scent of hope. For so many Black Americans in the 19th and early 20th centuries, the hospital was a place of fear, if it was an option at all. Segregation barred the doors. Indifference met their pain, so they turned to each other. They turned to the wisdom carried in their bones. The apothecary stood in that gap. They did not have fancy degrees from northern universities. They had something more practical. They had knowledge that worked. They had the trust of their people. Reclaiming this history is an act of justice. It is to say that the men and women who brewed teas for fevers and made poultices for wounds were practicing medicine. Their work was not folklore. It was a sophisticated system of care born of necessity. It was a quiet revolution against a system that denied their humanity. Their legacy is a blueprint for resilience. It is a call to remember that healing has always been an act of freedom. The knowledge did not begin in America. It traveled in the holds of slave ships. It was carried in the memories of the enslaved. It was a body of wisdom from West and Central Africa. Their healers knew the properties of thousands of plants. They knew how to diagnose illness by observing the body, the spirit, and the environment. They understood that the mind and the body were not separate. This deep, holistic understanding of health was a cultural treasure, a tool for survival that could not be stripped away by bondage. It was the seed from which the Black Apothecary would grow. The late 1800s saw the rise of patent medicines. These were commercial products with bold claims and secret formulas. They were sold everywhere. Newspapers, almanacs, promising to cure everything from consumption to baldness. Within this landscape, Black entrepreneurs saw an opportunity. They began to create their own patent medicines. They bottled it, they labeled it, they sold it to their own communities. Simple, honest names: cough syrup, blood purifier, pain liniment. The labels might feature the maker. Unlike the large anonymous companies, the Black Apothecary was a neighbor, your deacon, your midwife's cousin, the woman down the road. This personal connection built trust no national ad could replicate. The shop became a hub, a place for medicine, for information, who was hiring, who was sick, who needed help. He listened, he offered advice, he might extend credit. An informal social service, a bank, a news bureau, a cornerstone of the community. When segregated hospitals turned people away, this door was always open. A network of care, how remedies reached the people. The medicines did not just sit on shelves, they moved. They traveled through clandestine networks built on trust and shared need. The first and most powerful network was the church. After service, remedies moved through circles, passed hand to hand along with prayers. Word of mouth was the strongest advertisement. Traveling salesmen carried bottles to barbershops and gatherings, ambassadors for the brand. Midwives were crucial links, trusted professionals bridging shop and home. Informal roots ran on relationships, not contracts. A healing syrup could travel states to reach a sick child. It was grassroots organization against systemic neglect. Owning these shops was a radical act, an engine of economic empowerment. Money flowed back into the community. Land, homes, schools, work, dignified jobs at every step, circular economy, culture preserved with every bottle. The legacy we must remember, honoring a tradition of justice. As big companies rose and new laws came, barriers mounted for small makers. The system they had hacked was formalized to push them out. The loss was more than economic. Community infrastructure faded. A trusted neighbor was replaced by a distant, often discriminatory system. Specific, tailored herbal knowledge began to erode. Recipes at risk of being forgotten. The web of care unraveled. Today, a resurgence, a growing movement for health justice. They reclaim recipes and plants, creating new models that treat the whole person with dignity and respect. We have a duty to reclaim and honor this legacy. We must speak the names of these healers, tell their stories in our museums, our schools, our homes. Not fringe, but innovators and entrepreneurs who built a parallel system out of necessity and love. Their work was survival, and their story fuels the ongoing struggle for health and justice for all.